Here we are, thoughts from the office. Redneck's Pride outdoors. In the woods, checking my beaver and mink sets. Getting ready to go out and set up some coyote sets. Got rain coming in, so I'm going to set up the collarums and the snares. That's what's good about New Jersey. That with us only allowed to use cable, rain doesn't affect us. Rain affects us when we're getting wet, but it doesn't affect us in the performance of the cable restraint. And snow messes us up a little bit. If now North Jersey is supposed to get, I don't know, 6 inches or something like that, that will affect you a little bit. You know, you set your loop and all of a sudden you get 6 to 8 inches. That messes you up a little bit. But other than that, once the snow gets settled in, you're right back into operation again. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about two things. I want to plug the South Jersey Trapping and Snaring School again, but I want to talk a little bit about what I'm talking to new trappers. And again, this is geared to the new trapper, new snareman. In the last 3 or 4 days, I'm getting phone calls. I'm spending more time on the phone, which I'd rather phone. You know, these guys text. Please don't text me a question. All right. Yeah. I can't help you. I want to, but I can't. I mean, when you text me, I'm having trouble catching coon. Let's go back to old school. Pick up the phone and have a conversation. But anyway, getting back to having a lot of phone calls with newer trappers. And one of the things that I'm seeing that they're getting caught up on is they're trying to replicate or be somebody else. They're like one old boy said to me yesterday, I've done everything such and such does, and I still am having problems. And I knew what he was meaning. I knew what he was saying, but I wanted to make him understand what he was saying. And I said, what do you mean by you do everything he does? Because the trapper that he was talking about is a doggone good trapper, okay? And he said, everything he does in his video, I do. But it doesn't work. and I laughed, okay? Because I said, it's because you're trying to imitate his methods, man. And he goes, yeah. And I said, methods is nothing more than methods. And he went, yeah. I said, the method is the end result on catching the animal. It's not what catches the animal. Now, what I just said, I guarantee you is getting the same response that he gave me, silence. And some of you older trappers that's listening here, you're what's he talking about? I know what I'm talking about. Blah, 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 blah. About up to here with experienced trappers right this second. Guys, you ain't gods. I'm not a god. I'm an experienced trapper that can get it done most of the time, but sometimes I can't. All right? I mean, it's that simple. I'm sorry. Every time I start to think I am a god, God takes a ball-peen hammer to me and beats me about the head with a dumb, stupid animal, and it's usually a squirrel. Anyway, getting back to our thought here. What I find, everybody wants to imitate the method. Such and such said do this. Such and such said do that. Such and such said his does this. Well, yeah, they do. Based on their knowledge and their situation, that they know that's what they need to do. This is the best advice I can give a brand spanking new trapper right now. All right? Don't imitate so-and-so's methods. Imitate so-and-so's knowledge. I'm going to use Newt Sterling as an example here. He's a good old buddy of mine. I've known Newt for 40 years now. Trapped hard with Newt for many, many years. Newt and I started doing lectures and started doing training seminars. I think our first training seminar that we did together was back in 1990, 1991, something like that. I've trapped out of state with Newt. Newt's got a lot of knowledge. But Newt doesn't convey his knowledge into words. He conveys his knowledge with his hands. And you have to draw the information out of him. In other words, I tell people at the trapping school, you want information out of Newt, you've got to ask him a specific question, and you've got to make him answer you. Unlike me, I'm just a rattling box. Okay, I'm a instructor by nature. Plus, been an instructor in the wildlife control industry and trapping industry since 1987. Okay, so I'm a box. I'm a flowing stream. I just keep talking because I understand that when I'm thinking something, you don't think the same way as I do. So I've got to make you understand what I'm thinking. Getting back to our point. All right. You look at a trapper, you have a mentor, you have somebody that you're talking to. Their information, what they're getting done, what they're successful at is not the method. The method is just the end result. The method is the result that they use to hold the animal. It's their knowledge that puts the animal into the method. Or the method into the animal, however you want to put that. You want to be as good as somebody? Hey, listen, I'm going to use Laura and Zach up there in New York. Everybody knows them right now. Good friends of mine. I consider them really good friends. Laura, Zach, and John. I mean, they're. I can call them anytime. They can call me anytime. All right. They're doing unbelievable trapping, but it's not their methods. It's their knowledge. It's their understanding of the ground. It's understanding what the animal's going to do in that situation, in that spot, in that place. That takes years to get that. You want to imitate somebody? Don't imitate their methods. Learn from the methods. Look how they do it. There's a proper way. I mean, let's face it. If you're going to bed a dirt hole, you better bed a dirt hole. Okay, you better put that trap in that dirt hole the correct way, the correct position, the right placement. Everything's got to be the right way for method. So mechanically, yes, you've got to understand your method. Yes, mechanically. But the information to put that dirt hole or that post set or that flat set or set that snare in that spot does not come from method. It comes from here, knowledge of the animal. Knowledge of the animal. And how do you get knowledge from the animal? You listen to old goats. You listen to what they say. You try to put yourself into their place, their understanding. Then you get out and you get your knees dirty and you get your hands dirty. Look at my hands. They're clean today. Normally they're all cracked up and scabbed and bleeding. Yeah, last night they were bleeding like son of a gun. Man, they hurt last night. Anyway, you got to get out there and you got to get into the field. You got to understand, and you got to make mistakes, people. You got to make stupid mistakes. Not stupid as in catching somebody's dog. Not stupid as in setting where you shouldn't be setting because there's a ton of people. All right? Not dumb. But you've got to make mistakes that you look at yourself after you made the mistake and you say, why did I do that? But then when you do that and you see it, you don't do it no more. And the animal teaches you what you need to do. Listen, I am not here to tell you Jonesy is the greatest trapper in the world, because I'm not. God's just given me the ability to read animals. And people, I will say this. I make my living off of catching animals. And I hear a lot of guys out there saying, I am. I am only because God's given me the ability to make my living off of catching animals. And by catching animals, I've had to learn their habits and behaviors. That is the truth. That is the simple fact. Man, I made 2-3 blunders yesterday. I just looked at myself and said, Josie, what are you doing? Why did you do that? You're a new trapper and you want to become better? Get all the information you can about that critter. Book. That's what everybody wants to do. They want to do the book. Everybody wants to do the book, do the book, do the book, do the book. All right. And that's a good place to start, the book. Same thing with the Bible. You want to learn something spiritual? Go to the Bible. Anyway, start with the book, but then get out there and get your knees dirty, get your hands dirty, and make this up here hurt. Don't assume. You know, the guys, when I had guys working for me in the wildlife control, I'm back down to me and my wife working. It's a lot simpler, a lot less hassles. But anyway, when I had guys working for me, I said the quickest way to get fired is assume. This is what I think, based on nothing more than what I think, based on nothing more than what I think that I grabbed out of the air. Don't assume. Go out there, see an animal behavior, see what they did, see what they reacted. Don't assume that's what they're going to do every stinking time you come in. That's what they did and reacted in that situation, in that time. I love it, deer hunters. He came in spooky. You know, why did he come in spooky? He must have smelled me. Did he take off? No, then he didn't smell you. Why do you say that? Because if he smelled you and he knew you was there, would he be standing there looking at you? Come on, people. He may have smelled you and thought, is he here? Or has he been gone? I think he's been gone. That's what cover scent does. Creates an illusion to make the deer think that you was here, but you ain't no mo. Same thing with predator calling. I don't call without using a cover scent. But anyway, well, he came in spooky. Well, he came in spooky this one time. It doesn't mean he's going to come in spooky every stinking time he comes in. Don't base everything on one time. Base it on seeing the same results over and over and over again, whether it's negative or positive. One of the problems old goats have is we forget what it's like to struggle. And pride. We forgot what it's like to really not have an idea what you're doing. we forgot that. God doesn't let me forget that. And pride. That's probably our biggest downfall. I are trapper. I are deer hunter. I are this. I are that. I are good. I am the best. God doesn't let me have that either. Folks, new trappers, you want to get good. Get your knees dirty. Get your hands dirty. Learn everything you can about the animal. Learn everything you can from a person who is experienced. Learning not only methods, but what they're thinking. Ask the questions. Why did you do that? They're going to get pissed off. Why did you do that? What do you mean what I do? I did it. Why? I was talking to an old boy yesterday, and he was talking about snaring and what have you. And I said, how many fox have you caught? He's a new trapper. He's a newer snareman, not trapper. He's got a wealth of knowledge for foot trapping, but this gentleman he's newer to snaring. And I said to him, how many fox do you think you caught? And he said 10 to 15. I said, okay. Why did you catch him? And he got quiet on the phone. And he says, location. I said, okay. Why'd the location catch him? Got quiet again. I don't know what you right. He said, I don't know what you mean. I hung the snare right. I did. I said, exactly. I said, look, you're going to take this wrong, but don't take it wrong. You caught 10 or 15 fox by luck. You just happened to pick the right location and hung the right loop, set the right loop on the snare, and you caught the fox. But you didn't catch the fox. You lucked out. I want you to ask yourself that question. Maybe you caught 30, 50 fox in snares. Maybe you caught your 8 beaver. Maybe you killed your target buck. How'd you do it? Your brain is going to go simple. I hung the loop. I sat in a tree stand. But is that how you did it? No, it's not. Oh man, I'm making your brain hurt. You older trappers are saying, Jonesy, you ain't got to do all that. No, you did have to do all that. No, you did have to do all that, you old goat. You just forgot about how you did it. You just forgot about how you learned it, and now you know it, and everything's subconscious to you, just like driving a car. It's subconscious. You know it so well, it is driving a car. You don't even think about it. You see it, you know it. We was talking to the old boy, and I said, what's the ceiling? What are you talking about ceiling? So what's going to make him drop his head? Is there something there that's going to make him drop his head? What's the floor? What do you mean? Is there something there that's going to make him raise his head? I'm not talking about what you put there. I'm talking about what is there naturally. He said, I don't understand. I said, hey, you're about 6 foot, 6'1", right? Yeah. says you step out of the field and into the woods. You've got a tree limb that is at 6'5". You can go walk right under that tree limb. I said, but subconsciously, when you walked under that limb, what did you do? Even though you was going to walk straight underneath that, what did you do? I said, I guarantee what you did. You dropped your head just a little bit. You didn't even know it. You just did that. I learned that from my bird dog. I learned more about snaring animals than body position by watching my bird dog work birds. I watched the type of vegetation that naturally made the dog lift its head up. I watched the ceiling of vegetation to naturally make the dog drop its head. Even though it didn't have to. Just subconsciously dropped its head. What's that do to you as a snareman? It means you can look at that trail and you can figure out what you want to do, where you want to do it, and how you want to do it based on what the trail is. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to go heavy into that this year at the school. Man, we're going to spend a good amount of time where I'm going to be Mr. Professor. And I'm going to bore you to death. I'm going to bore you to death. But I'm going to make you understand what I'm talking about. To where it comes so natural to you, you don't even think about it, you just see it. I've told guys said to me, how long does it take you to figure out what you want to do and make a set? 5 seconds. It's because I know it so well that I don't think about it, I just do it. I'm not promoting me. Just saying God's given me that ability. Everything. You hear me talk a lot about God because God is the one who gave me this ability. It ain't Jonesy. Jonesy's an idiot. God gave me this ability. So whatever ability I may have, it's God. Total God. I'm going long on this one because I got to make you new trappers understand. You don't learn by a book. You don't learn by a video. You don't learn by copying somebody else's methods. You learn by getting into that somebody else's head, finding out what they know, which takes a learning curve and flattens it instead of that big old arc. Okay? Then you get out, you take that knowledge, and you get your knees dirty, you get your hands dirty, and you make mistakes, and you make success. That's what you do. South Jersey Trapping and Snaring School. Couple weeks. January 19th, 20 and 21, 2024. When you come, you're not imitating Morgan, what he does down in Maryland to catch those fox. And he is good. My goodness, he is good. You want to imitate his knowledge on what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. When you come, you're not going to imitate Newt on how he sets his cable for the beaver or the muskrat or the mink. You're going to imitate his knowledge that gets him to do what he does. All right, I'm done preaching. My old nickname was Reverend. Redneck preacher. God is number one in my life, even though I don't show it all the time. God is number one in my life. So that's part of the reason. And the other reason is because what I just did right now. I preach the outdoors. All right. Don't imitate me. You'll fail. Get out there and get the knowledge from the critters. I don't know how this video is going to go over. It may be watched. It may not be watched. Who knows? But we've spent a lot of time. I figure if people would listen to a podcast for an hour, some Somebody may listen to this video for 25 minutes. I'll see you next time, Redneck's Pride Outdoors. Thoughts from the office.